Okay. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that tonight I stand on Lutruwita, Tasmania, and I pay my respects to the Palawa elders, past, present, and emerging. Welcome everyone to your orientation program. It is very exciting to have you all join us for the next 2 years, and hopefully it's a really great 2 years, starting with today's session. So I guess today's session will run for 90 minutes. So we aim to finish off by 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what we're gonna, I guess one of the main things is that you'll do over the next couple of years is building your network. And we're gonna start today. So we'd like to get to know you a little bit better and for you to get to know each other a little bit better, because you're going to be working together for the next couple of years. Then we'll have Lorimer Mosley, who is the CEO of Pain Revolution, join us to give us a bit of a brief overview about Pain Revolution. And then I will just give you an overview of the LPE program, followed by Abby, Nourish, Abby, if you wave out, who'll give you an overview of the second year of the program, which is the Local Pain Collective project. And then we'll have a bit of time for any questions that you might have. All right, so I am Dhanushka. I am a physiotherapist and I'm based in Launceston in Tasmania. And I joined Pain Revolution back in 2019 as a local pain educator. And I have been in this role managing the program now for a little over a year. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to call out your name, unmute yourselves, introduce yourselves, your name, what do you do, what's your discipline, where are you based, and in one sentence, why you joined the revolution. So I guess I'll get Abby to start off first.
Helpful to unmute. I'm just typing it in the chat box so we can all remember what it is. Good question. Why you joined Revolution? Great. Well, hi, I'm Abby. I am a physiotherapist by background. I grew up in rural WA, so a place called Buckenbooter, so 4 hours northeast of Perth. And I started, I'm giving a little bit more, but I started working with Pain Revolution in 2017, and I was one of the inaugural local pain educators. So it's been going for 5 years now, which is really exciting. I've since moved over to Adelaide, to one for a job working in a private playing clinic, and two to work a little bit closer to Body and Mind Research Institute, which is Loz's or Lorimer's other work, which is closely aligned with Pain Rev. And one sentence on why you joined the revolution and why I'm still here today. I felt very alone and isolated. I knew this thing about biopsychosocial, but I wasn't surrounded by people that really got it or really were passionate about it. And I wanted to connect with a community of people that were like-minded and passionate, and really wanted better outcomes for their patients. And that's why I joined, and that's why I'm still here.
That's great. Thanks, Abby. All right, so I'm just going to follow my screen. So next we have Bonnie.
Hi, my name's Bonnie. I'm a psychologist. I'm currently based in Cairns in Far North Queensland. My first career was nursing, so through that I observed the shortfalls of the medical model and how we weren't looking after the psychosocial. So then I jumped ship, did psychology, and then found that psychologists have lost contact with the biological, and haven't studied for years, but a few years ago realised my pain knowledge was way out of date. So I started researching and stuff. And then David sent me an email earlier this year saying this would be a great opportunity if you're interested. So that's why I joined the revolution.
David Butler, Bonnie?
No, David D'Alba.
David, if you just wave out, and there he is. All right, thank you so much for sharing, Bonnie. Next we have Tim. All right, Tim might not be.
Sorry, Tanushka, that's me. Sorry, my video is not working and I'm not sure why. You can't see me?
No, I can't see
okay.
you.
Sorry, I'm a physio in. I'm working on it. I'm a physio in Maleny, which is sort of about inland from the Sunshine Coast. Spent most of my life in rural Queensland. Grew up in Western Queensland, actually not far from where David Butler grew up. And yeah, been in private practice here for about 25 years. Been to quite a few of the EP, Explain Pain, EP3s. And yeah, I'm really interested in the whole pain revolution. I'm a cyclist too, so hoping to enjoy that bit of the journey too. But yeah, really looking forward to the pain revolution and becoming a local pain educator.
That's great, Tim. Welcome on board. Next we have Mark.
Hi, hope you can hear me. Sort of based in Orange, New South Wales now. A history, I'm a physio by trade. I've been doing it for about 20 years. But I've worked probably New Zealand, South Africa, the UK for a bit. And I guess for me, the reason I wanted to join, firstly, it's a bit of a personal impact for sort of family of mine, as well as, but like Bonnie, there's a knowledge gap that I feel I just don't know yet. So I actually got a biochem degree as well, because I kind of like learning the physiology behind things. So I'm looking to fill that, and then I think there's a really good need for that sitting out here. So yeah, should be great fun.
That's great, Mark. Thank you. Tyson.
You hear me? Hey guys, I'm from Noosa. I'm an exercise physiologist. Look, it's been a bit of a rough journey. I was a chronic pain sufferer for 20 years and kept getting stuck in the patho-anatomical model by therapists. So I've got a little bit of a chip on the shoulder. I eventually, obviously, got halfway through my university degree and studied, a lot of the pain sciences that were out there. Even inside the university course, they weren't really taking a biopsychosocial approach. They say they were, but they weren't. And after that, once I finished uni, I started diving into pain sciences, and then eventually did the EP3 training. Now, what I do is I work closely with acute and chronic pain clients, a lot of NDIS and mental health based clients. It seems to correlate with pain, as you guys know. Yeah, so similar to Abby, I felt pretty isolated and alone trying to talk in this community in Noosa. I felt like I was the first person actually talking this way in the community. So I just want to try and change that. I feel like I get up against a lot of beliefs and attitudes that people have, and I've worked out ways to try and ease people into that. Not everybody's ready to take that transition, but I know personally, once I did, and then I was consistent with movement, I recovered, and I want to spread that word in this area as well. And nice and close to Tim in Maleny, so only 40 minutes away. Yeah, that's it, I think.
That's great, Tyson. Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Yeah, thanks.
We have Ruth Schubert next.
Hi everyone, I'm Ruth. I'm also a physio, and I'm based kind of in between Lismore and Byron Bay. And and I have a special interest in pelvic pain, and particularly I work a lot with endometriosis and conditions similar. So the Jane Chalmers crew and everyone at UniSA, I'm very interested in their work. And one of the main reasons I joined the Revolution is because I was in Sydney. So I've been a physio for 20 years and I was in Sydney for most of that time. And a couple of years ago, I moved to a more regional area, which is quite an affluent regional area, I would think. And I was really surprised at the difference in access to services, the difference in prescription of opioids for pain. And I really was motivated to try and change things in my local community because I can see there's a big disparity between metropolitan centres and the regional communities.
Thanks, Ruth. Abby has just left a little message for you in the chat box. She knows Jane really well, and she's happy to connect you if you think that would be helpful.
I'm writing a research, well, I'm putting a grant in for MRFF funding, and I've already pestered Jane on her mat leave, but she's been very gracious and she has offered to help us, so that's good. And also I apologise, I will need to leave early, but I'll catch the rest on recording.
All right, that's all right. Thank you so much, Ruth. Mitchell.
Hi, I'm Mitchell. As with most of you, I'm a physio as well. Although I work in a place called Bundaberg, which is about 4 hours north of Brisbane. Yeah, unfortunately not affluent like yours, Ruth. And Tyson, I wish I had have known about you about 2 years ago when I was working in Noosa, because it's a struggle there. And if you think Noosa's bad, mate, Bundaberg's, yeah, not good, not good at all. So I guess in a nutshell, that's why I joined the Pain Revolution, is because there's a huge need for it here. And coming from a place like Noosa and then moving to Bundaberg, or I grew up in Bundaberg but moved back to Bundaberg, you really notice the difference. And yeah, it's highly needed. GPs need the education, people need the education. So yeah, I probably only need one word, and it's need. The need for this. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
That's great. I think most of us resonate with that word need, and that's why a lot of us joined Pain Revolution. All right, next we have Penny.
Hi, I'm Penny. I'm a clinical psychologist. Kind of got a similar story to some of you guys in that I moved from Brisbane up to the Atherton Tablelands, which is in far north Queensland, almost 2 years ago now. I was lucky enough to work with Jay and a few other clinicians where we were doing a bit of outreach to some of the more rural, remote areas. And yeah, really got the opportunity to see, I've worked in pain management for quite a while, but really got to see the differences between the metropolitan areas and more remote rural areas as well. So yeah, there's definitely that need, and the patients are really appreciative, I think, of someone who takes some time with them to really look into their pain in depth rather than just in those quick 5-10 minute consultations. So yeah, I'm just working a couple of days a week in a private practice at the moment, and one day telehealth in a little town called Malanda. And yeah, no, I'm just excited to kind of keep doing perhaps a little bit similar to what we were doing in the project last year, and just increasing skills and knowledge of everyone in the local community to better be able to help others manage pain. Thanks.
That's great. Thanks, Penny. Angela.
Good evening. So my name's Angela. I am a clinical nurse working with the North Queensland Persistent Pain team. We are based in Townsville, but we do outreach. At the moment, I'm in Mackay, doing some education and like nurse consults and that sort of thing. So I work closely with Chad and Jay, who are also in the Pain Revolution here with us tonight. One reason I got into it is because when we come to these like smaller towns than Townsville, like many of us have said tonight, it's like the need for it. There's not a lot of education from like GPs and the community and the people as well. So just the need to spread knowledge and information.
That's great. Thank you, Angela. David.
Hey, Bonnie and all. I live in Cairns. I'm an exercise physiologist, and it's nice to hear there's so many like-minded professionals within the region, which is great. And main reason I joined the Pain Revolution, much like I think Tyson, I had chronic pain, not 20 years, fortunately, for like 18 months, really stuck in that pathoanatomical space, and I was an EP at the time, and I couldn't treat myself. I saw physios, OTs, hand specialists, orthos, and the book Explain Pain was what got me back to functioning and living a good life. And I'm mindful that my background as an EP made that so much easier. And so I see the Pain Revolution as this opportunity to share it with people in the community that don't have that luxury of being able to pick up that book and then put it all together so much more easily, I suppose.
Absolutely. Thanks, David, for sharing your experience. Nicole.
I'm Nicole. I am from the Surf Coast in Victoria. I do a bit of outreach based in Geelong, but then go to some country towns around Geelong area. The reason I want to get into Pain Revolution is because I love education. I think it's super important, and the more people who have the knowledge about pain and the more people that can spread, it's a bit like tentacles spreading out. So I used to be a secondary school teacher, and I feel like the more knowledge I have, the more I can sort of teach my communities around me. And that's sort of, was my inspiration to be involved.
That's great. Thanks, Nicole. Ruth.
Hi, everyone. I'm actually Ruth. I'm a pharmacist, so something different in the group, I guess. So I actually suffered a stroke 10 years ago, so I linked into the Pain Revolution way of treating my own pain, because I saw that the way that we're treating it, I guess, in a really, I guess the way we've been treating pain in our regional areas was very much defined by a lot of medication. And I'm actually doing the opposite. I'm trying to get people off their medication and into the arms of other health professionals. So I like collaborating with other health professionals to find solutions. And our little town doesn't have much apart from a GP clinic, and our area is a bit short, I guess, on educators. So I'd love to join this sort of group so that I can actually pass on, I guess, the learned experience, but also pass on some extra pain science experience, I guess, too. So yeah, I feel really privileged to be a part of the group. Thank you.
That's great, Ruth. Thank you for sharing. Jay.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Tanushka. So I'm Jay. You can hear me all right? Yeah. So I'm Jay. I'm background in physio, living up here just in a small town just south of Cairns. Got very similar stories to a lot of you. But we had a lot of fun running an outreach project in persistent pain a couple of years ago and last year, where we did a lot of education to clinicians. But I really felt a gap was the education to the community, to consumers. So I'm pretty keen to brush up on my kind of pain science knowledge, and especially the how best to deliver it. And if we meet some like-minded folk along the way, and we do something cool up in North Queensland, then that's an added bonus.
Thanks, Jay. We have Chad next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chad. I'm an OT in background. I had a personal story with pain that kind of tweaked my fascination quite a few years ago. And then I was fortunate enough to come along and work in the chronic pain clinic in Townsville. I feel like I've learned a lot about pain, made some great networks, and was really excited for this opportunity to be able to network further. And I guess we always do lots of education as part of our role across North Queensland, and I'm always reaching out to Torres Strait and these odd spots. And I think for me, I just wanted to refine that skill of being able to talk about pain and explain pain. But I think the thing that made me passionate about coming and meeting you all was to build a network. But I was so excited when Jay put on a wonderful training thing in Cairns early in the year, and Loz came up and he was talking about this concept of learners and non-learners and how this was changing people's pain trajectory. So it kind of got me a bit excited again about finding out what was new in pain science. So here I am.
That's great, Chad. Thank you so much. Lauren.
Hi, can you all hear me? Yeah, perfect. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm currently based in the Wollongong region. So we have lots of little surrounding communities down the south coast of New South Wales that I'm hoping to get access to and be able to spread the revolution. I also have a bit of a personal involvement in pain. So I suffered chronic pain, and from that, I think it also comes from a sense of I've got a very big need to for justice and trying to make sure that things are just. It's sort of a big, deep-seated personal philosophy of mine, and I think pain and chronic and persistent pain is potentially one of the biggest injustices that we see, and how that relates into the biopsychosocial models and the background of that as well. So through my own experience, I unfortunately didn't have the pain revolution or explain pain accessible to me at the time, but I did my own version of it and then came across explain pain and thought, oh, this would have been way easier. So I'm then on to that next phase of I can see how much it's helped me with my pain. I do that. So I'm an osteopath, so I'm also helping people every day that I'm working, trying to do the same sort of thing. And I kind of want to do the next step, which is how do we get this out to everyone? How do we get this as far reaching as we can? So that was when the opportunity came up to apply for the pain revolution. I was like, yeah, this is it. This is the opportunity to help spread that and just get this going further.
Thank you, Lauren. And lastly, we have John.
G'day, everybody. Apologies that I don't have my camera on. I'm currently in transit, so it'll be a very dark image even if I did put my camera on. I'm from Taree, a little town on the mid-north coast of New South Wales, about 2 hours north of Newcastle. I'm an exercise physiologist by profession, and I run a number of clinics and employ 7 other exercise physiologists that work with me. I'm personally clinically interested in persistent pain, and I've sort of now got my own little patient cohort that are solely that kind of clientele. But I guess I'm most interested in finally being involved in the pain revolution after observing for many years the good work that's happened, and initially not really being able to get involved because of geographic constraints. But I'm just really excited to try and bring some of this to some of the towns that we operate in, because like many of you have mentioned, the disparity in the quality of healthcare across regional Australia is pretty stark. And if we could only just do some of the things that we know have integrity and stand up to evidence, we might be able to really help some people live lives with dignity and reduce their suffering. So yeah, I'm just really excited to be part of the whole thing.
Thanks, John. Go on, Abby.
Thanks for sharing, everyone. I really resonated with everything that you guys shared. And I just thought I'd just take this point in time just for a couple of moments to share why you're joining the revolution in terms of wanting to learn more about pain, and to share that will be covered over the 2 years. So we'll really take a deep dive into learning about pain over the next year. And the second year is about how we share that. But why we've very intentionally wanted you all to introduce, to spend time today to introduce and get to know each other is that there's this intangible benefit of building a community, and the faces that you see here today is what can make this experience 100-fold more beneficial and wide-reaching. So I just wanted to take a moment to say thanks for introducing yourself, thanks for sharing, but also to plant a seed that, and we'll offer opportunities along the way to connect, that doing this together and using each other's skills and experience is potentially, I think Tanushka would share the same, one of the most rewarding experiences that you can get out of the whole program in terms of building networks, building community, and so much more can come from it. So I just wanted to say thank you, and looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with and how you guys grow and evolve, and looking forward to working alongside you guys.
Thanks, Abby. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. So that's great. When Abby and I were planning the session design, we wanted to keep a good amount of time for this, because listening to everyone's why energizes us. So we were really hoping that it does so for all of you as well, just knowing that you all are going to be together for the next 2 years, and most of you have a very similar story. Some of you have a lived experience of pain, and that's how you've ended up here. And most of you are in rural and regional areas with poor access. And we're really thankful for you applying, and we hope you have a great 2 years. All right, we're just waiting on Loz now to join in. So what should we do?
We can start, we can move through to the LPE program, and he'll jump in and we can,
Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen now. And we'll just talk you through the LPE program, just give you a brief overview of the first and second year of the program. And if you have any questions, we'll have some time for that later. All right, so the first year of the program, I guess the aim of the program is to embed capacity within rural and regional communities to deliver best evidence practice pain education and care. The program supports prevention, early intervention, and recovery within the community. Okay, so the year one of the local pain educator program is predominantly focused on learning. We have a few components to the first year. So the first one is the professional certificate in pain sciences, which you have all enrolled for. I will talk to it a little bit more in the next slide. We then also have Pain Revolution network activities. So we have every 3 months, we have something called the CAB-SAB sessions, which is a great opportunity for the network to come together. We have, we'll have a speaker who'd be a clinician or a researcher, and they'll come and talk to us about some of the amazing stuff that they're doing in their field. And it's quite an interactive session where you get to have a bit of a discussion with your network as well as the speaker, and we have plenty of time to ask questions to the speaker. It is a new initiative that we've started this year. We do have a CAB-SAB session tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is obviously no obligation for you to attend it, but I thought I'll let you all know about it, and I will send a link to after this this orientation session. So if you have the time or the capacity, feel free to join in. And we also have an annual National Pain Collective event where the entire network gets together and we open up that session to people outside the network as another learning opportunity. And the next thing is the peer network building. I think this is the most important aspect where you want to really take this opportunity to get to know your cohort. We will provide you with as many opportunities as we can. So one of the tools that we're going to use is Slack, which you could have on your desktop or your phone. And it will not be monitored by any of us. This is an opportunity for you to get to know each other, share resources, ask any queries during your first and second year of the program. And we're also going to offer you another opportunity, which is completely optional. If you are keen, let me know after the session. So what we plan to do is, for those who are keen, we'll pair you up every month. And it is up to you to get together on a Zoom or a phone call, whatever you are comfortable with, maybe have a coffee and just get to know each other, discuss what things are working for you, what are the challenges that you're having. And yeah. So that's your first year of the program. Now, the professional certificate in pain science, the first unit, which starts on the 25th of July, is just laying the foundation. So really getting into the theory of it. So your course coordinator is Mark Catley, who you will have heaps of interaction with over the next year. And the second unit, which will purely be focused on advanced pain education and delivering some of the complicated concepts that you have learned in the first unit. That will be the second unit. And that will commence in late January or February 2023. Network communication. So good communication is absolutely very, very important. Turn up as much as you can. What you put into this, that's what you're going to get out of it. So I think when I joined the network in 2019, I pretty much attended everything because I was pretty keen, and that's why I'm still here. And I think we will provide you with all the opportunities. It's just what you make of it. Try and be prompt with responding to emails. Phone calls will be extremely rare. Only if I can't get in touch with you for a few weeks, then I'll probably give you a call. We do understand that you're really busy and life can get in the way, and we absolutely do understand that work commitments are important. And I guess this is something that Laws said to us a few days ago, and I think that I could relate it to that, is that people who get involved in these sorts of things are quite stretched as it is, which is so true. So we're quite understanding of your commitments. Most of the sessions are recorded, so if you can't come online, then try and watch the recording. Okay, so a few things that we utilize for communication. You will all have access to the resource hub. I will talk to you a little bit more in the next slide about the resource hub. Slack, your email. Now, you will all get a Pain Revolution email address. And it would be great if you could set up your Slack as well as access to the resource hub via the Pain Revolution email address. And I have most of your phone numbers. And like I said, it will be very rare that I will try and give you a call. Now, in a couple of weeks' time, I will send you an LPE manual that'll have all the details about how to access Slack as well as the resource hub. And at that time, you'll also get access to your Pain Revolution email address. Now, this is the Pain Revolution Resource Hub. Now, as you can see at the top here, you would have access to the Year 1 LPE tab, the Webinar tab, and the Connect tab. The Year 1 LPE tab will be where you will have access to all of the resources that we need you to have. And as the resources are released, we'll let you know, and they'll appear in the Year 1 tab. The Webinars tab is where you have access to all the past webinar recordings, as well as the future CAPSAP sessions, the National Pain Collective events. All of that will go under the Webinar tab. And we also have the Connect tab, which is where you will be able to ask the headquarters any questions, as well as connect with your peers. All right, now I know this looks like a busy slide, but we'll just go through it really quickly. This is what the next 2 years is going to look like for you. From June to December this year, we'll be essentially laying the foundations, where we'll be focusing predominantly on learning, networking, and community building. And your activities are basically the local pain educator orientation, which is today, your first unit of the professional certificate, the CAPSAP sessions, and the National Pain Collective event. Then from January to June, there will be ongoing learning and network opportunities. And it's predominantly, again, the Unit 2 of the certificate and your CAPSAP sessions. In July to December, we'll focus on skill building for your local pain collective, which is your Year 2. And Abby will talk to you a little bit more about the local pain collective project. And then in between Jan to June 2024 will be predominantly your return of service, you developing your collective and delivering your sessions. All right.
Great. We have a special guest on here tonight, Anna Hill. I wonder where Anna Hill is. Oh, there he is.
Hi, everyone. Look at this lovely group of superstars. They're fantastic. Hey, Jay. Nice to see you. So who's from far north Queensland? All right, got a few. So Victoria. Great. New South Wales. G'day. Welcome. Got a couple down the bottom. I can't see. Oh yeah, good on you, John. Thanks for the thumbs up. Fantastic. Sorry about my light here. I'm in the middle of email mayhem, so my computer is at work, hopefully downloading 242,000 emails from my old computer, of which only 36,000 are unread. So I hope this is very encouraging for you all. It's very, I'll respond immediately to emails, I'm sure. Thanks for letting me drop in. I really just wanted to say welcome and thanks so much for taking on this challenge for your communities and I guess for humanity, really. I reckon it's fantastic, and you're joining a group of elite individuals, really. I think the people who have come before you are just top-notch people, and now they're top-notch people with really high-level skills around pain education, pain care, and the projects that are moving along are really exciting, and it's great to have Tanushka and Abby organising these things. So thanks to you, Tanushka and Abby. I always, I try and drop in on these sort of orientation things, really just to get a look at you and to show my face, and I guess also to just to convey how important it is for me and I think everyone at Pain Revolution to acknowledge the effort that is put in for these things and that you guys will be putting in now, and I guess how seriously we take the values of Pain Revolution, that we spend a lot of time trying to narrow them down to the four that were most important to us as a sort of a leadership group some time ago. And if I can remember them, not necessarily in this order, but empowerment is a value that we take really seriously. And Abby and Tanushka and Tracy, when you interact with her, and Maddie, and all of the mentors and volunteers, there's heaps of them, clearly resonate with this, that we really hope to empower each of you in this journey. And if you're not feeling empowered, then speak up. And if you get to see an opportunity to empower one another, I really encourage you to do that, because without that sort of stuff, I think we're not really going to achieve the objectives of Pain Rev, and probably your own objectives. Cohesion is one, so we take that really seriously as well, and we really try and integrate everyone doing this program into our network. Where our research has shown over the last 10 years that any practitioner who's embracing modern pain science is at risk of exclusion from their local peers and from their professional colleagues beyond their geography. And we really want people to feel safe within the Pain Revolution networks. The people who have come before you understand what that's like, and hopefully we'll be making an effort to, I guess, really embed this sort of safe space sort of stuff, and like-minded and like-trained people. And cohesion can be really challenging at times, because we want to be cohesive with people who are different parts of that journey from you and from us, and might have different paradigms of thinking and care and those sorts of things. So if that's tricky, I mean, we've got dedicated sessions to this over the course of your training, but if that's tricky, we get it, but we think it's important to pursue it. Integrity, and that applies, I think, to communicating honestly and authentically with each other, being true to data. That's a big thing for me, and that can be tricky when data emerge that don't support your beliefs. So we need to be open to that for integrity. And what's the last one, guys?
Respect.
Respect. Total respect for all you guys. Total respect for everyone else's journey here. And we really think it's important to embrace that right from consumers to decision makers, government, pain specialists who are inserting things for which there's no evidence, and it's easy to diss that. But we really want to make sure we're respectful in all of our interactions. And I guess the one reason I like to jump on board is just so you can realize how important it is to the whole organization. And if any of you reckon we're dropping the ball on any of that, just speak up. And if you don't feel comfortable going to the first contact point, you can come to me if you want. But there's other people within the Pain Rev network. You'll all have mentors, and there's this big community of people now who are kind, clever, and community minded. So that's my little speech. Jay, we had a meeting today about the Far North Queensland Rural Outreach Tour that we are very much hoping to run in September next year. Tracy will be talking to you or your representative if she hasn't already about that. So all you North Queensland people, start getting excited because the circus, it really looks like the circus will be coming to town just after you finish this program, which is just perfect timing, we reckon. And while I've got the chance, I really want to just say congrats to you, Jay, for going the distance here. It's just been fantastic. And to get to this stage, you ought to be really chuffed with your persistence and your persuasive abilities. It's really, really impressive. And I think your community will benefit from this in the ripple effects kind of way that you won't even see. A big nod of kudos to you, mate. Enjoy your journey, everyone. I'm ducking out again because my daughter is back from Melbourne for 2 days. I haven't seen her for quite a long time, and it's the big Relo bash in our house tonight. So there were a few looks of what when I just ducked out saying I'll be back in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So I'll go back, but you're in great hands. Thanks again. Great to see you. Carry on.
Thanks, Laws.
See you, dudes.
Bye. All right. I guess just to give context to what Laws was talking about with Jay, has been instrumental in securing quite a bit of funding for us to provide some scholarships to some of you from Queensland. So yes, Jay, thanks so much for coming through with that. All right, Ruth, no worries. Take care. Bye. And I guess one of the things that I missed out when talking about communication is that please let us know if you have any issues, because there are going to be issues that come up. It's because the program's constantly changing, and we tweak things along based on feedback. So if you have any issues, any doubts, if things don't make sense, or if you're getting a little bit overwhelmed with all of this information, maybe after that little presentation that I gave, you're just like, what is going to happen over the next couple of years? It's all right. It's just let us know where either myself or Abby, please feel free to reach out to each other so that you don't feel like you're the only person who's feeling like this. Your peers might be feeling like this as well. So just reach out to each other. Yeah, and that's about it. Abby, do you want to add anything, or should I share my screen?
Yeah, just reiterate what you said. And Loz did mention the Rural Outreach Tour, which we're really excited about. Tanushka and I have been to a Rural Outreach Tour, and probably anyone who attends a Rural Outreach Tour would say it's a life-changing experience. So if you're a rider, start riding, get your prep in. I went from riding 5Ks to the pub to 900 Ks over 7 days. So if it's a feat that you want to take, be involved in, reach out to the most inexperienced, which is me. Can always give you some extra tips along the way. But that is something that we're really excited to offer, because it's this experience of being very similar to this, but in person amongst 40-50 people who are very like-minded and passionate is like no other. So we've had a gap, we've missed it over the last couple of years, and looking forward to bringing it back. I'm looking forward to coming and checking out Queensland. Yeah.
Hey, and the weather is stunning in September up here. So if your southerners need a little bit of paradise.
We do. Great. So should I move forward and just quickly touch on the LPC project? So I won't, the purpose of the next kind of 5 to 10 minutes is to give you like a bit of a brief overview of what the LPC or the second year of the LPE program looks like. We won't go into the nitty gritty because we don't need to. We just wanted you to know that it's there and that that's what's coming up in the year 2. But primarily the focus is for the first year is doing the certificate, because it does take a lot of time and hours, and just building connections with each other. But the LPC project, in terms of history, came about 2 or 3 years ago. So like I mentioned right at the start, I was an inaugural local pain educator, and our return of service was to do 6 events, 3 to the public community and 3 to the professional community. And I teamed up with a local organisation and did 10 events around rural WA, because I'm, you know, like most of us here, just excited to spread the word. And the feedback we got from that was, yeah, it's great. I'm feeling inspired, I'm feeling curious, but what next? Who in my community can help me? And that is something that I, myself and the other 18 local pain educators shared back with PainRev, in terms of we felt like we could be doing better. We felt that we were doing that first part, but we weren't actually establishing and sharing that message with other health professionals and really embedding change in the community. And I think, Penny, you talked about that, it really resonated with me in terms of your why for joining PainRev, in terms of, and you all did to some extent, in terms of how can we share the message and how can we kind of grow and just learn together. And that forms the premise of the Local Pain Collective project. So the aim of the Local Pain Collective project is to bring together local like-minded, passionate health professionals to facilitate a space where you learn together. We've moved away from this idea of educator and more of a facilitator role, where we bring some information around pain, and we provide this space where people can learn together, and then we share that with our communities. So that's the aim. I'll get you to take the next step there. So we started from 4 local pain collectives in 2019, and this year we brought it up to 20. So it's been a big lot of growing and evolving, and it's very, very exciting. And I think the other thing that's really great, I did write it down location wise. I'm not sure if it was Ruth, and she's left now, but we've already got a local pain collective in Ballina, and I know she's near that location. And I think that also speaks to this idea of there's your community that we're starting to establish here now, but there's also a wider community that we want to connect you in with. So these 20 facilitators also have experience of doing the certificate and starting collectives. So think broad when you feel that you need help, and we'll be thinking broad too. If you come to us and we feel like we can't help you, gosh, there's 65 other local pain educators now that can, and 30-40 volunteers that are pain researchers or scientists or working in different fields that can. So know that the network is broad, and the idea is that we can share skills and experiences and help each other. And what the return of service or the year 2 looks like is we do lots of training and skill building workshops. In all transparency is one of the value. We didn't have any of these training and skill building workshops when we started collectives. We just did the evaluation after and said, this is what we need. And that's kind of the philosophy of PainRev, that we bring the research, but we also need the communities and the local pain educators to come back and say what they need, so we can bridge this gap over time. So we do a lot of training and skill building workshops to help you have the skills to set up a local pain collective. Some of you might have these skills, but if you're like me, I just had physio skill set. I had no skills in facilitation, education, grants, fundraising, all of that, and definitely tech. It took me definitely 2 years to set up my PainRev email. So we're trying to put things in place to make that whole process easier, because reiterating what Loz said, we do realise, and we are very grateful the journey that you guys are embarking on, and we just want to support and make it as easy as possible for you. So the second year will be including that. You'll get paired with a mentor for 12 months as part of our way of supporting you to deliver your return of service. And that mentorship is another thing that we also think offers massive value. It was supposed to be a 1-year mentorship. My mentor in 2018 was Professor Helen Slater, and we are 5 years going strong. She just came over to Adelaide and we just went for a hike yesterday for 2 to 3 hours. So another really great opportunity, which kind of speaks beyond the program and kind of speaks to what Tanushka said in terms of what you get in, you get out. And yeah, just further community building and support. So we did want to set the scene today that yes, all these faces might feel unfamiliar, but hopefully we've put the support and the opportunities in place for you guys to get to know each other, because that will make the experience more full and more far-reaching. I think that's all that's helpful to share right here, right now. If you do have any further questions, just reach out, because I'll be able to share what you need, or direct you to the right place or the right person. So our evaluation goals. So as again, Loz spoke to a lot of when I was doing interviews last year for this the PMRI project that I'm coordinating as part of the LPC project, a lot of the reason why people join PainRev was because it's science informed and it's a very strong evidence base from what we work from, and hence the evaluation is quite important to us. In year 1, there's not too many evaluations that we'll be looking at. We'll just be doing an end of year program evaluation, and then in year 2 we'll be evaluating all the training, the workshops, and the LPC events, and we'll be evaluating the collective attendees experience. And I guess I just wanted to share that talk to this point in terms of we really are interested in working out, is the LPE and LPC project, is it effective? Is it useful? Is it helpful? Is there better ways that we can be doing it? And I think a prime example is what I shared just 5 minutes ago in terms of we've gone from didactic events to more peer exchange events just based on the feedback. So we really do value your feedback. And we do want to evolve, and it is a co-creation process. So we really just, I don't think we can say enough. We are really open to your feedback and ideas and thoughts. And we want to be able to create impact. So our big vision is that all Australians have the access, knowledge, and support to prevent and overcome persistent pain. And we're always just really interested in, is this the best way? And from what I could hear in terms of the introductions, you guys each have incredible skills and experiences, and we're hoping to make the most of that. So we're hoping that any ideas or thoughts that come to mind, you feel comfortable and safe to share that with us or your mentor or colleagues, and then we can create some good stuff together. And that might look very different to what we share tonight. And we thought the last point was really, it's actually really imperative to mention that we also do need to have data to use in marketing and funding material. So we are a non-for-profit. We are run on what Loz calls a shoestring budget. And we really want to be able to show that what we're doing here, a values-based non-for-profit organisation full of passionate, like-minded people, is a really good thing and something well worth funding. So that's intentionally also why we need starter so that we can continue on and we can move in a way that reflects what the community needs. And yeah, keep working towards our vision. And Tanushka has allowed me to share one quote before we head into Q&A, so more than happy to answer any Q&As after. But this has been my theme for this year. We're nearly July, so at most events we've been sharing this just to ponder on, and it reiterates everything I hope we've said today, that alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. So we understand it's a complex problem, and it's big, it's scary, it's challenging, but together we can achieve a lot. And yeah, like I said, we're very excited to work alongside each of you to yeah, work towards our big vision.
It's her birthday today. Did you know that? It would be. Helen Colours.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't. I'll shoot her a message. She's not. She's still alive?
Yeah, she's turned 142 today.
She's very inspirational.
Thank you so much, Abby. I guess we're ahead of time, so which is always good. Now we'll just please feel free to ask us any questions that you might have. Just unmute yourself and
or type in the chat box, whatever you feel comfortable with. And if you don't have any questions, that's totally fine. Means we've done a good job.
I might break the awkward silence for everyone. Loz mentioned, I guess, being respectful and to other clinicians, and I had a slight jab at maybe people injecting things into people when it's not really evidence-based. Have you guys come across many sort of situations where you have had a lot of pushback? Because I can just foresee in the community I work in that there may be a bit of pushback.
It's a common question that we get. Like, it's probably the most common question, so much so that we've had a whole webinar on it in terms of how to have those tricky conversations. I guess we're also very realistic that we're a minority in terms of the people like being like-minded and applying a biopsychosocial approach. If we look at like however many health professionals there are in Australia, that would be a great statistic for me to whip out right here, right now. Like, we're a minority. So we actually act from the viewpoint that our first sole focus is to engage people that are like-minded and are intrigued. There is so many health professionals out there that are feeling lost, that are not satisfied, that are unsure and confused and wondering why they're not getting better at pain outcomes. And we feel that we really meet that gap. And yes, at some point we may be ready to engage with people that, you know, are not on the same message, but at the same time, we'd rather really focus our efforts on the people that didn't know we existed and had found that we provide a gap that they're looking for and really make a difference and provide a community that they belong to. And what comes to mind is this, I was based in Margaret River when I set up my local pain collective, and I'd had this one exercise physiologist 8 hours away in Esperance that would log into every session, and was just so grateful that we hosted these sessions because everyone in her community didn't take the same approach that she did. So I think that, I mean, that was really special to me. Like, that's why we do what we do. So that's my answer. We just want to share the message with people that are interested and are really wanting to do better and be better.
So guys, I was just thinking, is there any sort of go-to resources you'd use sort of straight away in terms of trying to, I suppose, not influence, but educate like local GPs and that within the area?
I think we do have a little, I guess there is no expectation right now to reach out from our perspective to GPs, but in the second year we do provide a few flyers that you can utilize to reach out to local GPs. We might direct people to the fact sheets that are also available on the website. So that's what we're utilizing right now.
And so there is a resources section on the Pain Revolution website, which I was trying to copy and paste into the chat box. Tanushka, if you had better internet than me.
Yeah.
But it's another opportunity to ask each other. So when we set you up on Slack, I think that's a really nice opportunity to go, what resources do you use right here, right now? So for me, like depending on who I'm delivering it to, whether it's like patients, I just use a whiteboard 24/7 to communicate messages these days. Or we might use something like Understanding Your Pain or Tame the Beast. Or if I'm looking at a GP, if I'm talking to a GP, we're actually just looking at, what are your struggles? What are you struggling with? What are you finding hard in terms of chronic pain, and how can we help? So it's a lot of like, how do we ask great questions? Like, how can we, instead of being like, you should know this, you're doing it wrong, it's like, what are you struggling with? Like, how can we help? Did you know there's a local EP? Did you know there's some, are you interested in learning more? We can, like, it's just about coming from a curious mindset. But I also know that you guys each here tonight are a wealth of information. And if you ask each other, I'm really interested in what you come up with. Great.
Right. I was just checking.
If anyone's got any last minute, Tyson?
Yeah, just do you, because I'm from Southeast Queensland, could I get my Lycra on and go up to North Queensland at the end of next year and get involved?
100%.
That's like an open invitation.
It's a national, and it's actually international. Yeah. So when I rode, we had people come from Canada and America, and yeah, I was the only one from WA. So it's open. There's a I think we only allow 30 to come, so there's a short list. But look, Tyson, in terms of people that might get a gig, it's looking pretty good for you, I think. Okay. Yeah.
I'm closer to North Queensland, so
yeah, but like in terms of your level of commitment to Pain Rev and your level of willingness to engage, it's looking pretty good, and yeah.
I won't lie, I'm pretty nervous. I'm sure everybody else is getting nervous about that community event next year. I'm kind of sitting going, oh no. Did you guys find that to be very nerve-wracking when you first did a community event? Was it like 400 people, or was it 550 people? Or?
I was actually at my first community event would have been on a rural outreach tour in Victoria at Monash University. It was the first event of the tour, and I was talking to health professionals, and I was so scared. But I had practiced heaps with my mentor, which I found really useful. And the education team that we were traveling with was so good. Everyone was happy to listen to your talk, provide you feedback, come and let you debrief a little bit. So it is challenging, it is nerve-wracking, especially if you haven't done it previously. But I reached out to my fellow LPEs in Tassie who were traveling with me, and we did a lot of practice with each other, with my mentor, as well as the education team. So I had heaps of people to lean on, and that's what helped. And once you get the first one out of the way, I don't know if it ever gets easier, but you'll get through it.
And it could be, Tanushka spoke to a big crowd, but I just spoke to 10 people. Unfortunately, my colleague thought it was a good opportunity to invite 5 GPs to the first event.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I was literally just reading from a piece of paper, and yeah, it was I don't feel like I should share anything more because it might be disheartening, but from there, you can only start from the bottom. I think what really helped me, and it wasn't made clear to me, but it's my only learned journey, was that presentation skills is a separate skill set. So we're doing a presentation and PowerPoint skill set with you, and we're going to make it very clear, like give you some tips and tricks that it is a whole new skill set. So don't expect yourself to be 10 out of 10. An example is I came from preparing like maybe an hour before a presentation to realizing that maybe it might take more than that. And when I had prepped for the Pain Adelaide conference talk last year, I allowed myself 8 weeks, and I did 1 hour a week, and my mentor and I, well, actually it was Loz, went through it 1 hour a week and practiced and did all of that. So just acknowledging it's a new skill set, but is a great skill set. One, to communicate the pain message, but 2, like so transferable. And that's what I think I really love about Pain Revolution, that you can learn these life skills, and that's what we're trying to teach our patients, these skills beyond pain, these skills that are transferable. So we acknowledge that it's a bit scary, and it can be, bring all the feels, but that it gets easier, and we hope that we can provide the support and you have the network in place to feel that you do have the confidence to give it a shot.
Thanks, guys.
Sorry, Tyson, I think you should come up to Bundaberg. I do occasionally I'll do an education talk on men's health, and mate, like, you've got nothing to worry about once you start talking about erectile dysfunction and incontinence in front of about 50 people. Yeah, you don't get so nervous after that. Yeah, get some interesting wives of husbands and stuff find your jokes funnier than what the husbands do, because it's a bit too personal for them, but the wives think it's pretty funny.
Actually, that brings up another tip, Mitchell. Thanks so much for sharing that. Watching other people do presentations will give you pre-recorded. So we've got a bank of 3 to 4 years worth. So we'll give you watch other people do it, or even head up and see how Mitchell does it, and just that experience alone, going with the attention of how do you present, like going versus being an attendee, how does someone present, could be a really great, interesting, and sounds like very fun, enjoyable experience.
Yeah. And I think if some of you do get the opportunity to attend the Rural Outreach Tour next year, that is also a really great learning opportunity to just listen to other local pain educators present, and just listen to this pretty much a similar talk just given by different people over and over again was a great opportunity for me. As well as I'm pretty certain as a part of your Unit 2 for the certificate, you would be doing a lot of you would be presenting target concepts to each other, as well as I think you'll have to record a presentation, and that's one of your assignments that need to be done. So that's another learning opportunity. And I think you're also allowed to give each other feedback, which is great. So you just, listen to somebody else present something that you might have a different way of presenting, and you might just get some different ideas. So that's really great. And if any of you are feeling like you're not sure of how to present a certain concept, use Slack, reach out to one another, and ask for help. Okay. Any other questions? All right, that's great. I guess the next steps from here going forward, let me look at my little list. Okay, so first thing, if anyone has not sent a photograph to me via email, just please it'll be great if you could just put that on your list, so that we want to just put it on the resource hub so that you have access to it and you know who's who, what are people's interests, and just to get to know each other a little bit better. So if you could just send me an email with your photograph, if you haven't done so already. I will send you the manual in a couple of weeks. The manual will have instructions on how to use Slack, on how to access the resource hub, as well as your Pain Revolution email. We will also put some how-to videos in that same email, because we have all of these how-to videos on the resource hub, but you can't access the resource hub till you get your Pain Rev email address. So we'll send you the links of the videos so that it gets a little bit easier. And if you still can't get on top of it, just send me an email and I'll connect you to the relevant person. Okay. Now, the CAPSAV session tomorrow, I will send you an email after the session right now. And if you can attend it. There's absolutely no obligation because we know it's quite a short notice, but that was deliberate, just so that we don't overwhelm you with too much information. So you don't have to attend it. If you want, you can. There will be more coming up for the rest of the year. And to finish off, I'd like you all to write in the chat box one word that you are feeling right now about the year ahead. Inspired, excited, pumped, motivated, excited. Me too. Motivated, excited, nervous. Well, yeah, that's totally fair.
All feelings are valid.
Yes, enthusiastic. Is that everyone? Stoked, great. Pumped, great. Excited. Excellent. Thank you. We are pretty excited as well, and nervous as well. It's always a little bit scary, but we're hoping that we can all support each other to get through the next 2 years, and reach out if you need anything. Good luck with the start of the program at the end of July. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great learning opportunity, and I'm sure you all will love it. And just wait for my email in a couple of weeks' time. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, please reach out. All right. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone. Such a pleasure to meet you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.